Hey everybody, and bright blessings. Lady Leeanna here with another edition of Wicca for today. Yet again, here to meet with you and talk during another show about our beloved religion. And we have entered into my favorite month of all time. My favorite month for two reasons. For one, it's my birthday, October 11th, and this is the 4th. I lose my days on Sundays, trust me. And I will be 16 again. Okay? Still young, still kicking, but with all the knowledge that I can offer the people of the world, as long as they will be willing to have it. But it is my birthday month, and I am hoping that it is going to be a good birthday. I'm crossing my fingers. I really need a good birthday for once. I feel I need a very good uplifting. It has been a very turbulent year for me, to tell you the truth. But also, we're entering into the Samhain time. We are now in the last harvest days of the year. And we're heading up toward the end of the witch's year and ready to kick off a new year, November 1st. So, a lot this month going on. It's very cool, very brisk at the end of this month. And I am all too happy to see that at the end of the summer. I really am, you know. But this isn't really a video to do with Samhain now, or my birthday for that matter. It is a video to do with the Holly King versus the Oak King, alright? And I think it's a very important thing to talk about. It's definitely a story that's hung around in many religious pathways for a long time. And you know, I won't say that I am a professional within the field of what is the area, I guess I should say, of what is the Holly King and what is the Oak King. As a matter of fact, it's one of those stories that I haven't really picked up a lot throughout my days within paganism. It's not one that I've lent a lot of attention to, although I probably should have. But I really feel that it will help you guys, and it's by no means an unimportant subject whatsoever, but it's just one that I have neglected, and we all do that with certain parts of our own beloved religion, although we shouldn't. But like I said, I am not a professional by any means on this particular subject, so I thought I would turn to those that are in part on making this video by reading vlogs and things of that nature and discussing it with you as we go. First off, I've sat down and I've thought about it, and I'm like, okay, well, why do these two get together and fight every year, or not even every year, but a couple of times a year to fight if already this is played out and they know what's going to happen, what the outcome is? And I really pondered over that very deeply, and I came to this one conclusion. The fact that they come and they battle over this, in my opinion, the symbology behind them coming together and actually battling, you know, during this time, it's the heat and the season and the sun's height or darkness battling against the alternate. It's, you know, summer and winter, it doesn't want to come or go easy. It doesn't. And it struggles against itself whenever the season arises, that it would either become darker. The sunlight don't really want to go away, and a few days here and there it'll appear, and then it'll get real hot while it's already supposed to be getting cold and whatnot. I believe to some degree the symbology of the Oak King and the Holly King are really to do with the struggles between one temperature and the other at these times, the darkness versus the light of the year, and so on. I mean, it really makes sense to me. Not to mention, these two are actually aspects of each other and of other deities. And so they really wouldn't sit there and have a physical battle. So you would go more with the symbology, of course, within this. And that is the symbology that I could actually come up with to do with the Holly King and the Oak King. But we're going to look into that a little deeper right now, okay? And see what other people's opinions are. Bear with me. I am lounging today and very lazy, by the way. In many Celtic-based traditions of neo-paganism, there's the enduring legend of a battle between the Oak King and the Holly King. Those two mighty rulers fight for supremacy as the wheel of the year turns each season. At the winter solstice or Yule, the Oak King conquers the Holly King and then reigns until midsummer or Litha. Once the summer solstice arrives, a little fumbly on the tongue there, the Holly King returns to do battle with the Oak King and defeats him. And like I said, this happens quite a bit throughout a lifetime here. In the legends of some belief systems, the dates of these events are shifted. The battle takes place at the equinoxes, so that the Oak King is at his strongest during midsummer or Litha, and the Holly King is dominant during Yule. From a folkloric and agricultural standpoint, this interpretation seems to make more sense. Not more than mine, of course. No, I'm just kidding. In some Wiccan traditions, the Oak King and the Holly King are seen as dual aspects of the horned god, which is what I was going to say earlier, that I feel that these two are aspects of Cernunnos, also of Santa Claus if you think about it. Each of these twin aspects rules for half the year, battles for the favor of the goddess. Okay, so they not only battle over rulership over a certain amount of time, but they also battle for the hand of the goddess at that particular time. You know, for her to rule at their side if she's not sleeping, because we all know that the goddess sleeps, or aspects of her actually sleeps throughout the cold seasons. Okay, so all the time they come back and they fight. Ultimately, while these two beings do battle all year long, they are two essential parts of a whole. And I said that I believe that they are aspects of each other. Despite being enemies, without one, the other would no longer exist. Well, I can understand that, because there are aspects of ourselves that battle with each other all the time for the ability to reign over the other aspects. And a lot of times there are parts of us that don't like other parts of us, for sure. The Holly and Oak King are the same king, but with a twin soul. At Alban Arthan and winter solstice in midwinter, when the Mabon sun begins to come back to light the world, the Oak King wins the fight to rule the year, and at midsummer Alban Hef in the summer solstice, Litha, also known as the Festival of Joy and Light of Summer, the Light of Summer, has few other names too, by the way. The Holly King wins the fight to rule. They both rule for 6 months of the year and are associated with the rites of the solstices. They are both vegetation gods and are connected to fertility and the seasons. Okay. Now, at Alban Arthan, the winter solstice, the new sun is born, and at Alban Hefen, the summer solstice is at its completed stage. It has become its most mature on the longest day. The winter solstice was a time for letting go of what has held you back and to prepare and plan for dreams that are in the year ahead. It is also a time to focus on rebirth rather than death, the sun. Mabon is being reborn. Each day the sun gets stronger, and the Earth Mother, Madron, awakes. This is also the time of old age, as the Holly King is dying. Both the Oak and Holly King are the horned god, Cernunnos. Okay, and I said that earlier. The wild lord of the hunt. The process starts again at the solstice as they fight for the hand of the Earth Maiden, Lady Caradwen. The fight is between the light and the dark half of the year. The Oak King, at this time of year, has suffered a wound, and his energy dies down. The Oak and Holly King battle each other at the solstices, so the Oak King has suffered a mortal wound, which he will not recover from. He'll die and then be reborn. Winter solstice, the Holly King's energy is defeated and the Oak King's energy is triumphant. Hence, the Oak King can take the crown and woo the Spring Maiden. The Spring Maiden is the Lady Caradwen, also known in the Anglo-Saxon as Eoster, or Esther I call it, goddess of the spring. She and the Mabon meet now, spring equinox, as masculine and feminine energies mix to bring forth the fertile season, to consummate. The Lady of the Harvest is associated with autumn equinox, Alban Elfid, also known as Madron, the earth goddess, mother of Mabon, the sun, or sun, whichever way you want to pronounce it, or look at it, because it is the sun god and the son of the lady. As she returns into the earth after the dark half of the year, we give thanks to her for her bounty, and we have faith that she will bless us again next year with her continued fertility of the harvest. She is also known as Lady Caradwen and many other names. The Mabon, the sun child who brings the promise of the sun and rebirth, is still an infant, and until the spring equinox, when the sun starts to be longer, he is not old enough to woo the maiden and the Lady of Spring, Caradwen, representative of the earth. As it grows, so does the sun's power, and then the fertility starts again in the spring with the sacred marriage of the earth and sun. This is marked by the spring equinox albanielar. Lady Caradwen is known as Madron and Danu, and also as part of the triple goddess in some beliefs, like the goddess Diana. In springtime, the triple goddess is seen as the maiden, in summer, the mother, and winter, the old crone. We can see how the maiden is represented by flowers and rebirth, and the land and fertile cycle starts again. In summer, as the mother, as she is in full glory and abundance. In the coming harvest, the winter months, she is the wise woman or crone, old age and wisdom, resting now. Her fertile days are over before the cycle of birth and death starts again. The legends of the Oak and Holly King, whatever names we give, to these masculine gods of fertility and vegetation wax and wane into the year. Much confusion arises from the fact that in the most trees of Celtic months or moons, the oak is in June, but this is one time when he has suffered a mortal wound by the Holly King, and it's the Holly's energy that wins the day. I feel that it's a subject that's highly overshadowed by everything else that transpires at the time when we are celebrating our seasons or our rituals to do with the goddess. I feel also, when people are trying to make videos based around the holidays, we so often overlook the Oak King and the Holly King because we are talking about how to praise the goddess, or we're talking about how to set up an altar, or what to do during celebrations. And so I felt that this was a subject that deserved its own video altogether. And what better time than right before doing a Samhain video, so I can cover Samhain on its own and without having to worry about this, and I will make sure I cover this without forgetting about it. Well, another episode of Wicca for Today concluding. And I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this episode and that you've gotten out of it everything you could possibly want out of it. I certainly do try to pull together for you the very best I can within the knowledges and wisdoms that I provide for you. All of that is within myself, or all of that I take from other people. And yes, I find that when I'm a little bit rusty on something, or maybe it's a subject I didn't study on as much as I should have throughout my pathway, I will pull together all available informations and materials so that I could bring it to you, and justly. Any way that I possibly can, I will make sure that everything that I provide for you is the best that I can provide. But I love you, and I walk with you in your daily life. Throughout this month of October, you have my truest blessings and love with you, from sister to sister or sister to brother. Please be of light heart and merry part. Bye-bye.